started playing around with special effects. I'll talk about this in my panel later, but which you have to go to. I started playing around with special effects makeup for Halloween, about the time that Beauty and the Beast was on. I tried to do a werewolf, but I couldn't figure out how to do the snout, and I wish Lisa Gold was around back then so I could talk to her. But I couldn't do like a lizard or something like that because of the facial hair. So I just kind of fell into this cat thing. And then Beauty and the Beast came along, and so I watched the show to figure out how to do the makeup, the little finesse around the eyes and things. And we used the character on the TV station where I work to host Star Trek marathons and stuff. And then the fans saw me on TV and invited me to cons. I started doing Star Trek cons because the station I work at airs Star Trek. And it just kind of snowballed from there. But it was still just kind of a fun thing. I would put the face on just to have fun at the cons and leave it at that. But the summer of '92, I did a Star Trek convention where the artist guest of honor was Keith Birdsong, who does all the Star Trek book covers and collector plates. And we hit it off, hung out all weekend in the bar. And I was doing a lot of photography and some pencil sketches. So he was looking at my stuff and it said, "Have you ever thought about painting?" And I said, "No." And so he literally kicked me in the butt, showed me his technique on how he does the book covers. And I thought, well, that looks easy. I went out and bought an airbrush and compressor and started playing with it, learned how to deal with it, and I've been painting ever since. And it was at that same convention, that same summer, that they had asked me to fill in as MC, because they came up and said, "You work in television, you do this all the time." And I said, "Well, can I do it with the cat face on?" And they said, "Gee, what a concept." And so it was the summer of '92 where both Murr and Jamie the artist were born. And let me tell you, it's been one hell of a ride. Yes?
Have you ever gotten a personalized Murr license plate? And if not, have you at least gotten a Texas Animal Friendly license plate?
No.
We can't hear the questions.
Well, that's good because I'm having a hard time too. She asked if I've ever gotten personalized Murr plates for the car. No, personalized plates and cell phones are two things I don't do. That drives me nuts when you're driving down the freeway and you see people just yakking away, not watching where they're driving. Personal plates, no. Texas Animal Friendly, I've never heard of
You
that.
haven't heard of that?
No.
Well, that's a special project to get funds for animals, dogs and cats to be neutered, so we won't have the over cat population.
Oh, cool, I'll check it out. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to know what inspired Murr. Is it strictly an original creation, or was there something that inspired you to begin with?
Come to my panel later.
Okay.
No, briefly, like I said, I just wanted to do something crazy for Halloween, and it would have to be a hairy character because of this. And a cat was the easiest thing to do. It just kind of happened. I didn't really think about it. Most of the stuff I do in life, I don't really think about. It's too much work. I just go out and do it. When they were setting up the schedule for the weekend, they were tossing back and forth, doing a makeup workshop, doing an art thing, and I got confused as to what was doing what. And when I got here, I saw on the schedule that it's a makeup panel later. So I thought, since I prepared an art thing, I would show you briefly, step by step, what I go through to get to a painting. You had a question?
Yeah, I did. Has this become a full-time employment for you, or
Oh, no.
you 8 to 5?
I work full-time at a TV station, part-time at a video store,
Good.
and then occasionally paint. Yes.
novel
really.
concept.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I had a photography business for a while, because photography is something I loved, and it kind of snowballed and took off and suddenly became a business, and it took all the fun out of it. So with artwork and special effects makeup and stuff, it's all stuff that I want to do for fun. So I've got the job at the station, which is different every day. I never get bored with it, and it's flexible enough to allow me to do all this other fun stuff. And it gives me the great security of a good paycheck and great benefits, and understanding people who put up with all my craziness there. And I just do all this for fun. This is great fun. No, thank you. So, yeah. No, this is the art portion. The makeup portion you have to check out later. Okay, have you been into the art show yet? Okay. For a long time, I always considered Vincent and Catherine as like the ultimate romantic couple, and I'm always asked if I've ever done book covers or anything. I've done a lot of comic book covers, but never book covers. Well, up until recently. And so I thought it'd be fun to do Vincent and Catherine as like the ultimate romance, like a romance book cover. A friend of mine, Ian Elrod, who writes vampire novels. We've been friends for years, do a lot of cons together. Matter of fact, a lot of people write to her fan club, the letters to the editor thing, asking if we're an item, because we show up at cons all the time. But she went to a romance novel convention, and they were doing a demo, how they do the romance covers, and they had the famous models there posing and stuff like this. So she grabbed a few photographs, and I thought this would be a fun thing to do. I'll pass this around here. It's one of those famous Fabio type hunks, and going through their typical poses. So I started with that basic pose and worked on Vincent and Catherine. And then I was approached to do a piece for a Beauty and the Beast fanzine. So I thought, okay, this would be perfect. So I did a black and white sketch, which is Anne Brown's up in Minnesota. Her fanzine has this as the cover.